Good afternoon. Welcome back to JTC Report. Big news coming in today. Today's Wednesday. And take a look at this from CNN. House votes to limit Trump's Iran war powers in a remarkable rebuke. So yeah, out of kind of nowhere, House passes a war powers resolution to rein in Trump's ability to continue this war in Iran. The last one went down in flames. So yeah, pretty good news if you want to see the end of this war and watch gas prices start to go back down. Curious how this will affect that in the coming days here. So let's take a look. House passed a resolution on Wednesday, today, to limit President Donald Trump's war powers in Iran, a significant rebuke to Trump and his handling of the conflict. Democrats have repeatedly forced votes to limit Trump's war powers in both the House and the Senate, a campaign that has gradually picked up more GOP support in recent weeks. The vote was 215 to 208, with Republican reps Thomas Massie, legend, Brian Fitzpatrick, Tom Barrett, and Warren Davidson crossing party lines to support the resolution. So important, not just Massie, who is pretty consistently anti-war, but you have a few others who, quite honestly, haven't heard of any of them, but hey, we'll take it. So they were able to finally get this past the starting line here, which is passing the House. Now, before we get our hopes up too high that this resolution might actually rein in the administration from continuing this war, it's got to go to the Senate. And the Senate is where basically all good things go to die in our system of government. It really gets bogged down. So who knows? We can hope for the best, but hey, it passed the House. I'll take the first step. So let's take a look at some of the news coming out on this.
We turn now to the war with Iran, and for the first time since it started, the Republican-led House today passed legislation that would force President Trump to stop all military action against Iran. Still has to go to the Senate, though, and for now, as our Charlie Daggett reports from Tel Aviv, the fighting is picking up.
A passenger terminal at Kuwait's International Airport engulfed in smoke and flames.
This is in the middle of a ceasefire, by the way. Ceasefire. This is part of the reason this has to end. I mean, this video is coming out from recent days, this escalation ladder that we've seen. Iran downs one of our MQ-9 Reaper drones, and then we go after some of their facilities that launch the missiles. And this is in the middle of a so-called ceasefire in this war that's already unpopular. It's just ridiculous. Gas prices are through the roof with no signs of ending. So I think the fact that even Republicans are getting peeled off and starting to vote for these war powers resolutions it's about time. A little late, but hey, better late than never.
With a gaping hole in the roof after an Iranian drone attack. Kuwaiti officials say at least one person was killed and more than 60 injured. Iran's Revolutionary Guard released this video today, claiming to show the launch of one of the heaviest barrages since a fragile ceasefire was declared in early April.
Again, we're watching missiles launch and drones launching in the middle of a ceasefire. It's just ridiculous. Let's see some of the reactions. Not much coming out. I've been trying to monitor to see if Trump has reacted. He has not reacted yet, but what I did catch is little Mike Johnson reacting. Let's see what he has to say.
I think it is a very dangerous prospect to take away from the administration and the commander-in-chief right now the ability to negotiate. That's what this does. It weakens us, our position and our leverage in negotiation on the peace in that situation. Operation Epic Fury is concluded.
Shouldn't you guys have a check on it? Why doesn't Congress assert its authority here? It's constitutional authority.
This question could have been asked at any time over the last half century.
So his first reaction, and good question from the reporter, this is Congress's job is to check the presidency, and Congress is supposed to be the body that declares war, not the presidency. So what does Mike Johnson say in return? He doesn't try to argue anything. He says, well, we haven't followed that in the past. That question could have been passed in the last half century, he says. So his stance is because something bad has happened for a long time, we're going to just keep doing it. It's absurd. It's time to wrap it up. This is just not how things are supposed to work.
When Congress has not passed war powers acts, when presidents like, Barack Obama were dropping bombs and missiles all around the world.
AUMF for Iraq and Afghanistan?
This operation was immensely successful. The objectives that were well-defined were achieved. The president is now in the process of concluding a peace agreement. And we have
well-defined objectives. The objectives now are to reopen the strait, which was open before he launched this ridiculous, useless war. It's just absurd. And the fact that he keeps saying well-defined objectives is proof that there were not real well-defined objectives. He's saying that because he knows there aren't any actual objectives that at this point are even achievable. It was all about the quote-unquote nuclear program. Well, we were told that the B-2 bombers back in during Midnight Hammer destroyed the nuclear program. So why did we go to this war if that was supposedly successful? Oh, well, now the objective is to open the strait, but the strait was open before we launched the war. It's incoherent, and Mike Johnson is trying his best to come up with an excuse, but it's just clearly not working.
have to allow him the latitude to do that. And I think a war powers resolution right now is very untimely and a very negative and dangerous thing for the country.
Ridiculous. So yeah, Mike Johnson, one of the things he said at the beginning of that clip was, well, this is dangerous because in the middle of negotiations to end the war, this resolution is going to make Trump's position during the negotiations weaker. So, that being said, it sounds like Trump is very seriously focused on this negotiation and getting this war concluded and finally bringing down, the Strait of Hormuz blockade to bring down gas prices for the people who voted for Trump. So, yeah, let's see what Trump is up to. Sounds like he's in pretty intense negotiations, right?
They just had this done. You're getting a first glimpse, but that's your size compared. So those are among the tallest buildings in the world, including the Empire State Building.
And see, this is what he cares about at this point. It's all of his little pet projects. The ballroom. Our pool is bigger than skyscrapers. This is what he spent time talking about. And he's always talking about this. He's talking about the ballroom. He's talking about all these renovation projects. He's talking about the UFC fight coming up in the middle of these negotiations that Mike Johnson tells us are really seriously happening. And we really need our position strong so Trump can negotiate his way out of this. And this is what he's busy doing. So it's time to wrap it up. It's this war powers resolution. Should have had more votes, to be honest with you, to get passed. But hey, it's a start. We'll see what happens in the Senate. I'm not super optimistic, but who knows? We'll see what happens. But yeah, that's the news. Big news tonight. Again, tonight is Wednesday, June 3rd. And yeah, stay safe out there. Stay in touch. We will be following it.